Hi, I'm Paul Kreischer. Welcome to Heart of a Building. Did you know that buildings account for about 40% of all energy use in the United States? We're hoping to make a dent in that percentage. And you've built an all-electric home that is affordable. Tell me a little bit about why you did this. Why an all-electric home?
To prove that study can be done.
It's really important that architects and developers and contractors that have the knowledge and the ability to do these things really put their money where their mouth is.
We're one of the greenest libraries in the whole country, and that's great. You wouldn't really expect it from a little town like this.
So this building, that's what we say, on average, it's about twice the insulation of a typical building, and that's what enables our mechanical and electrical engineer colleagues to completely rethink their approach to how to keep this building comfortable inside.
I come from an area that lived off of oil, and I've seen it crash. So when you build stuff like this, you have to build it for the long term.
Our historic bills on the building, which was a little smaller before, was over $20,000 per year. We are now spending about 20% of that amount.
We feel better in daylight. Lots of studies show that biologically we need daylight, we need high light levels, full spectrum light, and these systems deliver that.
Maybe what we're really about is the health of our customers, but also the health of the planet.
And so didn't realize how much of what we enjoy hurts others when we're irresponsible about it.
I think we all want to be good stewards. We want to be good stewards in our community. We want our kids to understand that process of sustainability and good stewardship.
I do not want to face my grandchild knowing the mess that I've left him.
Yeah.
I'm responsible. No, you're responsible.
We're responsible.
We're all responsible.
We will always strive for excellence. And I think that speaks to the heart of our building and what you see here today as well.
It was a pleasure talking with the champions of this project. The execution of these innovative ideas have proven to me this type of building is ready for mainstream application, and I hope other school districts across Colorado and all across the U.S. apply these ideas to all new and renovated school buildings. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
So not just the buildings we've worked on, but other buildings that have been built through the BEST program here in this vicinity have frankly struggled with the maintenance side. And what we came up with very early in the process, in fact, you took it to the interview as a concept already, was something we pitched to this client, which is a concept we call Passive House. That is investing more of the budget, more of the design effort and energy into making the envelope, all the surrounding of the building, the roof, the walls, the windows, even the foundation underneath, making those much better insulated than a typical building. And when we have an envelope that is that high quality, it lets our mechanical and electrical engineer partners do something great. It lets them minimize and simplify the systems that keep the building heated, cooled, ventilated, and lighted. If we look at this building, on average, we have doubled all of those values. So, for example, if we look at the roof, we've gone from R35 to R50. If we look at the walls, we've gone from R27 to R49. If we look at the windows, we've gone from R2 to R6 or 7. If we look at the floor all the way below us, something where we normally have no insulation at all, we actually have an R value of 6.5. So this building
R value of 6.5.
Where normally there was zero.
Zero, right. Yeah.
So this building, that's what I say, on average, it's about twice the insulation of a typical building. And that's what enables our mechanical and electrical engineer colleagues to completely rethink their approach to how to keep this building comfortable inside.
So we're in the gymnasium now, looking at some really cool features that have to do with daylighting, and that's what your company specializes in. So tell me a little bit about your interest in daylighting, why this matters, like why not just turn on the lights?
There's two things. One is energy savings, which really critical. You know, we design a space like this to have the lights off most of the day, right, for gym classes and events like that. But the big benefit is just we feel better in daylight. Lots of studies show that biologically we need daylight, we need highlight levels, full spectrum light, and these systems deliver that.
That's fantastic. So in here we've got some really cool products. We've got tubular skylights. Some of the viewers may have these in their home, like in a dark hallway or a bathroom that doesn't have a window in it. Commercial buildings, less common, but it's becoming more common to have them. But tell me a little bit about why that's such a good way to bring in daylight.
Yeah, it's really kind of an ingenious invention. It has a collection system on the rooftop that has Fresnel lensing and mirrors that drive daylight deep into a building. And then it pipes the light through a reflective tube and into the space. Nice. So yeah, we've been working on commercial projects almost 20 years now with this system. Super efficient. It's about 400% more efficient than a skylight.
Okay.
Because of that collection system. So we don't need much roof area to collect a whole bunch of daylight.
And there's a lot less heat loss through
That's
them
right.
too. Like you'd have to have a much larger skylight, and the
Exactly.
skylights lose a lot of heat.
Yep.
They can even have condensation problems and things like that. So yeah,
That's
it's
right.
a great way to
So
go.
for the building envelope, it really saves a lot of energy because it takes very little square footage on the roof.
Some beautiful things that you did with daylight in here.
The architects that helped design the building placed a high value on daylighting and did their very best to be able to bring daylighting into every common space in the building. That was very challenging in the lower level, which, prior to the remodel was, a typical church basement with very small, edge windows. But they were successful at getting some daylighting there. Some of it comes through sonotubes from the roof. Some of it comes through some clever arrangement and enlargement of windows in the lower space. But there are other places in the building where daylighting is even more dramatic. The space that we're in right now, we call Friendship Hall. It's a gathering space. And then our sanctuary has maybe the most important architectural feature. We call it the oculus. It beautifully brings in light with north-facing windows, and it really does a great job of lighting the whole sanctuary space. For this building, it's our wow factor.
Remember that green light from the beginning of our story? It's from a solstice window across from the oculus, one of just a few dozen in the United States. 4 times during the year, a small light appears during solstice and equinox events. A beautiful touch on this awesome building. For every effort that brings change in our world, a champion is required. A person or persons who see the vision inside of themselves and then shares it with others. In the case of First Universalist Church, it was a community of people envisioning the need for their building to serve as an example of a structure that is in harmony with nature. And they succeeded.